Lovers, I'm back. Having a pretty crappy hair day, but whatever. Anyway, I'd like to apologize. I guess the last video, ton of copyright issues came up. I never thought like they were that specific. I guess they copyrighted all my songs somehow. They knew where everyone was at, and that didn't make a lot of sense to me. The only one I had to get rid of the audio was Miguel's Wild Heart. Couldn't play that, so sorry. So I checked all the audio on this to make sure none of it would get banned or whatever, and none of it will. So without further ado, let's continue this list. This is honestly going to be a little bit more of a hip-hop oriented list. These next, 5 songs besides one. So we're starting off with number 44. And you know what, I might get hate again because a lot of people in the VC are not hip-hop fans, and that's okay, Once again, it's my opinion, and I'm sure there's other people that will watch this video too, although I did not get a lot of views on my last video, probably because of the copyright. But anyway, number 44, Young Thug. I know, I sound like an idiot, just saying it. It's Barter 6, though. One thing about Young Thug is he's released 3 albums this year, and the other 2 albums have not been that great. Normally, if you're gonna release 3 albums in a year, you're not gonna have that great of an album because that's just too many albums to release in a year, and it's all gonna be kind of the same thing, like generic and stuff. But with his first album of the year, Barter 6, you could definitely see a change in the way he did things. He's always had a really different voice from anyone else I've listened to in trap. It's just really high and squeaky. It's like Lil Wayne, but it's like a lot better than Lil Wayne to me. He just has these weird screeches, and it's interesting to me. So anyway, let me get this up for you. Yeah, like I said in the first video, I gotta type this in so I can get it here. But yeah, here it is, Barter 6, all the albums I own digitally. And the song I'm gonna be playing to you is called Dome. And I guess just listen for those weird screeches, that I enjoy. And a lot of you probably won't, but that's okay. Here it goes. Hopefully. Oh my god. Here it goes.
Yeah. I got like 5 million and 12,000 hoes. They dripping all over my motherfucking clothes. Let's go off the dome. I can't make it home. No. I thought that I boned her. She even aroma. They calling my phone now. My girl like what's going on now. She stuck and put me in a coma. I live on that bitch on my sofa. Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, that's Young Thug. Hate him, like him, once again, it's just an opinion, it doesn't matter what music you like. I've been taught, not taught, but a lot of people will comment, just let people like what they like, and you like what you like, so you know what, that's what I'm gonna do. This next one, once again, I think, a lot of people, think this guy is, like, a really shitty person or whatever, but, like, A$AP Rocky, in this album at number 43 at Long Last A$AP, it's a really, true to heart album. It's, got some amazing lyrics, and it's got, like, just a ton of, like, diversity and, like, different sounds to it to make it, a lot better than his other album. Now, unfortunately, there's only one song on this album that I looked up on the copyright thing on YouTube. They have a whole library of songs that'll tell you what will happen if you play this song or whatever, and this is the only song that won't get blocked. And it's actually my least favorite song, but, I guess I'll play it. But I honestly don't like it, but I feel like I need to play at least one song, and this is Lord Pretty Flacco, Droid 2. So here it is.
Yeah. 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 Who the jiggy nigga with the gold links? Got me reminiscing about my old days. 3-6 suck a nigga dick, no foreplay all day. Woman out the trap through the hallway. Tell me what you niggas know about. I'm just saying, turn it down.
So yeah, I mean, that's Lord Pretty Flacco, Droid 2, but all in all, this is a great album. I would recommend checking it out if you're into hip-hop, because, like, you know, it kind of is a little bit on the same line of Kendrick Lamar's To Pimp a Butterfly, but, you know, not really close, but it's on the same line, if you know what I mean, if you've listened to it. This next one, I guess I said before the video I'd get to play every song, but I can't for this album because the video would just get blocked. It's Dr. Dre's Compton. I mean, Dr. Dre, his album 2001 was easily, and is easily, one of my favorite hip-hop albums of all time. And, you know, I was honestly a little bit skeptical. You know, he was going to release Detox, never got around to that, and then he released this. I mean, I really wasn't feeling this album. I didn't think it was going to be that good, you know. I mean, it'd been, what, like 16 years or something since he'd released 2001. That amazing album. I'm like, you know, what does he have in him now? Is it going to sound, you know, more, like, modern, I guess? And it did, but it was, you know, it was really good, you know. It had, you know, some of my favorite artists, you know, like Kendrick, you know, BJ the Chicago Kid, Ice Cube, and, like, Snoop Dogg and Eminem. And, you know, this is also his last album, I think, so honestly, he's gone off on a great note, you know. I would say this would pretty much be like the child of Kendrick Lamar's To Pimp a Butterfly. You know, it's a really good album. It's kind of like a concept album, kind of not, but it's still a really good album. It's got some really great lyrics, you know, kind of about just growing up and stuff. And it's an interesting listen. I say that about pretty much every album, but yeah, I love this album. It's Dr. Dre's Compton, so check it out if you're anywhere a Dr. Dre fan. I don't think they have it up on Spotify. I think the only place they have it up is like Apple Music, because Dr. Dre is associated with Apple. But anyway, at number 41, my only rock record. This is a record I loved from day one. It was Hop Along's Painted Shut. You know, I don't really have a lot to say about this album because I don't know a ton about the artists. You know, they're just an indie, you know, pop group that has some really, really awesome melodies, and one of the catchiest female voices I've heard this year. It's interesting because, like, some of her songs, I mean, she'll just start out with just this really soft, nice voice. You'll hear that in, like, this little snippet of song that I play, and then, like, towards the end, she'll just get into, like, this snarl, like, this type of, like, scream, and it gets really interesting if you listen to the whole song. But this one's called The Knock. Some really good indie pop here. 'Cant's I mean, so that song is going to be in my head. I love that song. You know, all their songs are really catchy. So yeah, that was Hop Along with Painted Shut. Definitely check it out, you know. If you're like an indie pop fan or just a music fan in general, it's a great album to listen to. It's a really easy listen, to me at least. Anyway, at number 40, this will be the last album I'll be discussing in this year-end list. I hope it's been going pretty good. So, I mean, I hope that you've enjoyed it if you watched it. Please comment if you like any of these artists. I'd really like to know if anyone else is listening to this music, you know, and what they think of it. But anyway, this album is by Young Fathers, and it's called White Men or Black Men Too. Don't really know how to describe this album. You know, you could call it hip-hop, but you could also call it pop, and you could call it soul, and you could call it like electronic, and you know, you could call it a wide variety of different genres. It's just really weird, but you know, they're like mixing a ton of different sounds into like one, I guess, and it's a really fun listen all the way through if you know, really enjoy music and all the different sounds in it. You know, for some people this would be I honestly think this would be a really hard listen for some people, you know, like they could not get through a song, you know, because they'd give up on it. But I personally love this type of music, and they're a British group, and like I said, they just mix a ton of different genres of music. And so let me just play this for you off this White Men or Black Men Too. This is called Get Started. It's the last song on this album. I love this song so much.
Simmer, simmer down. Somebody take it on the chin and leave the party. Whichever thing you don't need. Get started. Get started.
So yeah, like I said, an interesting album. It's not for everyone. I understand that. But anyway, that was number 44 through 44 through 40. Tomorrow will be 39 through 35. Hope you're enjoying this so far. If you get through these, you know, honestly, I know I'm not that great of like a talker. I never have been. It's always been, I always like am thinking of something else, so I say that, and it does not have anything to do with the song or the artist. But I mean, if you got this far, just tell me what you think. Tell me if you want me to keep playing snippets of songs. And you know, honestly, this year for me was just a really big hip hop year. It's when I really just, you know, got so into hip hop this year. But still, a lot of great rock records, soul records that I loved. Like I said, I loved a ton of albums this year. And you know, my music knowledge from like last year to this year has, you know, gone up like 40 times, you know. And I know it's just gonna keep growing, and you know, hopefully someday I'll like be writing for like Pitchfork or Rolling Stone or something like that. But I mean, I'm not trying to brag or anything. I hope that happens. I'm not saying I'm a great reviewer, because I'm not. There's a ton of other people out there, and now I'm just rambling on. But yeah, just please comment. I'd really like to know if any other people listen to this type of music that I show today. I know there's, you know, probably not a ton of hip-hop fans of the VC. I've seen a few. But anyway, just tell me what you think, and tell me what you think of, I mean, what your favorite albums are this year, and I'll definitely comment back. So thanks, and peace.